What's up, everybody? Leone here again today. New mic in hand. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. Bear with me as it's not perfect just yet. I need to get a pop filter and a proper boom stand for it so I can have it mounted up here kind of and not all the way down here. Because I kind of have to be close to it for it to sound decent, I think. And the pop filter, I definitely need one because I'm getting a lot of like kind of staticky noise going on in the background. But nonetheless, it is here, it's down here, I'm not touching it. I was going to show you guys, but if I do, it's in a perfect place right now, and this is going to fall over. So that's that update. And the desk is rearranged, so it may not look too different to you, but I'm in a different angle entirely. The background still looks the same, but I'm more open here. I got space, so it's nice. That's that, but today it's not about any of that. Before I ramble too much today, it's about the Evic Vt from Joyetech. So the Joyetech Evic Vt, I've been waiting for this one again for a while. I did another silly pre-order because I couldn't wait, so I pre-ordered it. And I'll tell you what it is, where you're gonna get it, and all that kind of good stuff. I got it from Vaportech USA. I paid $72.99 for it. I think they're going for around 70 to 75 bucks on their website if you want to get it from them. A lot of other vendors are carrying this. What it is, it's a variable wattage, variable temperature in nickel and titanium modes. 5,000 milliamp hour mod, and it comes with, I'm not using the tank, which is volumes to what I'm going to say about the tank later. This is the Evic Mega, the Eagle 1 Mega. It also comes with it, and it comes with some temperature control coils, and we'll get into that later. So you do get a tank and a mod, you get a USB charger, and you'll see everything else that comes with it in the close-ups. Vaportech USA is where I got it, and they do have them in stock right now, so you can actually just go pick one up. Some quick specs for you on it is, let's see here. Like I said, 5,000 milliamp hour battery. It is LiPo packs. I believe it's 3 LiPo packs run in, I think, parallel. Don't quote me. I'll put a correction here if I'm wrong. And it's got, obviously, temperature mode, and it can go from 100 to 315 degrees Celsius to 200 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. Variable wattage mode, it can go from 1 to 60 watts depending on your load, because it can only output up to 8 volts. So if it's in the parameters, it can give it to you from 1 to 60. As far as resistance goes, in regular in temp mode, it's 0.05 to 1 ohm. And then in variable voltage mode, it's 0.015 up to 3 ohms. The colors are racing yellow, the cool black, dazzling white. The yellow looks more like an orange, if you ask me. The yellow one's got a black stripe. The black one's got a red stripe, obviously, and the white one's got I think a blue stripe on it. And it does temperature in nickel and titanium mode. Those are the specs. It doesn't even tell me what it's made of. It looks like an aluminum type material that's being used here. It's a very sturdy, heavy material. But nonetheless, without too much more talking, let's get up close because you're going to need to see all the stuff that comes with it and the menu and all that kind of cool stuff. Alright, everybody, so here we are with the Joyetech Evic Vt. Here's the packaging for it, and let's open up this little guy. It's got a bunch of, I don't know if you can see that, a bunch of C's and F's for Celsius and Fahrenheit. And then inside you're going to get a warranty card. I'll try to do this really quick because there's a lot to cover. The mod, and you're going to pull that up. And pull that out, and then you're going to get a nice little instruction manual, which is going to go over most of your stuff, how the menu works and all that. And then inside of here, you're going to get the Eagle 1 Mega tank here, which we'll go over that quickly. You're going to get a silicone skin / cover for your mod, so you don't scratch it or ruin it. Get another coil. This is the titanium coil for that tank. And you get a nickel coil also, which is inside my tank right now. You get a USB cable for charging. And that's it. Let's start with the tank here. This is the Eagle 1 Mega tank that's included. Mine's in black because the kit's in black. You get a removable 510 drip tip, which just comes right out. Double O-ring affair on that guy. It's a nice little drip tip. Decent bore on it. Then you're going to get the tank itself here, which Just unscrew this bottom portion here, and that's where you're going to fill her up. It's just 2 pieces, so you can only take it this far apart. That's it. And you shoot your juice, obviously, down the edge here, not down the center hole, but down the edge. And then you got your coil here, which this one installed right now is the nickel coil. I'll show you that real quick. They're very similar to the Eagle 1 coils. Well, they are the Eagle 1 coils, but these are in tight. This one's in nickel, and you could look at those tiny holes. We'll get into those tiny holes later. They're not great for wicking. We'll talk about that up top later. Got a gold-plated contact down at the bottom. 2 O-rings. Again, the blue is for nickel. 0.2 ohm nickel coil on there. And that's down there. It's a vertical coil. It's using organic cotton. So that's the coil right there. And then from the old Eagle 1 tank out there, they have increased the size of these windows so you can see your liquid flow or your liquid level a lot better here. These are a lot bigger from what I've heard because I haven't used the old one. You got some knurling on the bottom to turn your airflow. And you can open your airflow all the way up like that. Or you can close it all the way down like that. See that little nub in there? That stops it from going past. So you won't be able to turn it too far one way and too far the other way. And it's a nice resistance on this guy here. And you got 510 threading and it looks like another gold plated pin down here. So that's the tank really quick. And then here, once again, this is the nickel, the titanium coil. It's in red. I haven't used this one yet, but I plan on it. And then let's get to the mod. The mod is here. Let's start with the silicone cover. If you want to use it, this is what it's going to look like with the cover on. So there you go. That's it with the cover on there. It actually covers the button too, but you could still fire it. It pretty much covers up the beautiful finish on here, but nonetheless. And here's the Evic Vt mod. It's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery in here. They use LiPo packs. It says Evic Vt down here at the bottom. They got a charge port all the way at the top. You got the fire button here. Nice clicky fire button. And then you got the toggle switch here at the top, which is going to do your adjustments. And you got spring-loaded 510. It's a gold-plated 510 right there with an airflow cutout if you do use devices like that. So it's flat on this side, flat on that side. You got your venting on the bottom. It says 5,000 milliamp hour battery there, and then you got your screen on this side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns it on. It's a beautiful screen. We'll get into that in a minute. And yeah, I mean, it's a very nice looking mod. The finish is very shiny on this black one, and it's a fingerprint magnet like crazy. It's got the red stripe going on down both sides. It's kind of got that race car hood stripe, like kind of like a Mustang. Like those Mustangs got little scopes on there. This camera's not doing justice, but yeah, it does. It's flattish here, and then it raises up as it goes up this way. So hopefully you can see that raise right there. So let's look at the screen real quick. So 5 clicks turns it on, and right now I'm in nickel mode. Now this, you could see me through here. That's fantastic. So let me start with to get into adjusting. So first of all, if you're in temp mode like this, you can adjust your temperature easily by just turning the dial to the left. I'll try to do it like this. There. To the left or to the right, like I'm doing now. To go up, left goes down. And then you could also go 1, 2, 3. And we're in the little menu here. And if you go to the right, you change the setting. So I'm going right on the wheel. We're in power mode. There's temperature nickel mode, and there's temperature titanium mode. To the right, you're going to change your modes, and then if you go to the left, you go to the next setting. So if I go to the left, you'll see the power's now flashing. So I can adjust my wattage by going to the right. And you can only go up in this, when it's in the menu, you can only adjust it up, which is a con. And it'll get to 60, and then it'll stop there, and then you click it again, you'll round robin back down to 30. So when you're in any temperature mode, it's from 30 to 60 watts. That's all it's going to let you do. And to go to the next setting, again, press to the left. And now we're on atomizer. Alright, now I got the atomizer on there. I got the sub-tank on there. And to lock it, you just click it to the right. So now I just unlocked it. So you see it flashing. You see a little lock symbol come up where it says atomizer. And that locks the atomizer resistance so it doesn't fluctuate, especially when you're using nickel or titanium. It likes to bounce around. It's a nice feature that's on here. I'll explain it later a little better. So yes, we'll lock it there. Then to go to our next setting, press left and the battery. So if you go right, you'll see the puffs. or you could have it display the time, so like seconds of vaping kind of thing. It's like 844 seconds or minutes, or I don't know what that is, but it counts how long the button's being pressed, I believe. And I just like to leave it on battery, and that's the little menu there. I like to leave the battery there. I'm in nickel mode, sorry, with 46.1 watts and a 0.16 atomizer. And some other quick features that are on this thing are if you hold the fire button and you hit the toggle switch to the right, so do those together, you'll lock it from adjusting, so you can't adjust anything. It'll say key lock. Because this wheel, I believe if you put it in your pocket, you can accidentally knock your setting off with this wheel. So that's nice that that's there. To undo that, just hold it again. Now it says key unlock, and now I can make my adjustments. And that's how you adjust your temperature, by the way. It's very easy. You don't even need to go in the menu to adjust it. And then if you hold the button and go to the left, you'll get stealth mode. So you got stealth mode. So you can hear firing, and nothing's going on the screen. So to take that out, do the same thing. Power and take the switch to the left. Stealth's off, and now we're firing once again. And then to charge this device, you're just going to plug her in right here. And I'll show you the behavior it does when it's being charged. Now let's get to the screen. And now it's charging. You should see that little thunderbolt icon, and it's charging. If you have it off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it'll just show the battery icon, and when it's done charging, that icon will go away and the device will basically just be a blank screen. 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's how to charge it. But that's all you really need to know up here, up close. Let's go up top and we'll talk about the pros, the cons, and what I like and what I don't like, and all that kind of good fun stuff. So that was the close-ups on it. You do get a lot with this. It is a pretty well complete kit if you ask me. I didn't mention in the close-ups, but I did mention in the previous segment. In wattage mode, it's going to go from 1 to 60 watts, and in temp, it's going to go from 200 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit and 100 to 315 degrees Celsius. And again, it only puts up to 8 volts, so if it's within the limits, it will give you that power. So if you're using a high ohm, like a 2 ohm coil, and trying to get 60 watts, it's not going to happen. So as far as that goes, that's, you know, its capabilities and all that. It's got all its kind of protections, like short circuit, no reverse battery, obviously batteries are installed, you know, all the simple atomizer short and all that kind of stuff, 10-second cutoff on it and all that. Now let me start with the tank. Unfortunately, I'm not even going to vape the tank with you because it's, in my eyes, it's just unvapeable the way I'm using it. The tank is nice. It's a nice looking little tank with a nice drip tip and nice airflow on it. It's very airy. It's kind of loud too. Unfortunately, the coils that come with this are just garbage. I mean, the holes are just way too small for what we're using them for. I even tried a 50-50 blend in here, and I was getting poor performance. I was getting dry hits because the temp mode works well, but I was getting just poor vapor because it was so dry. I'd get one good hit, and then the next hit would be like a wisp of vapor, and that is due to the fact that the holes are too small. It's not keeping up. It's not wicking well. So Joyetech, change the freaking hole size on here. Add 2 more holes or make those holes bigger. One or the other. You have to do it because these coil heads are great. I mean, the performance on that one hit is pretty good, but they can't keep up. So Joyetech changed that shit. It's just garbage. Garbage. It's a disappointment because I was looking forward to using it in temp mode with the Ego 1 Mega. And then when I use my 70-30 VG liquid, it's a little bit thicker, but still not thick by any means, like syrupy at all. Wouldn't keep up at all. I mean, I'd get a hit, a half a hit, and it would taper off right away. So it would quickly go into temp protection mode. So that tank is garbage as is. They need new coils, and there are rebuildable coils for it, which I might be doing a review and a tutorial on how to rebuild them with with nickel wire. So stay tuned for that. That hopefully will resurrect this tank, because as of right now, the tank, due to the coils, is weak. So that's my opinion of that. Now the mod is another story. The mod I truly love. Some people are not going to like the look and the finish of these. I like the polished, shiny finish to it. I like the red stripe. Again, this has something to do with my favorite sports team's colors being black and red. So the fact that it's black and red, it's so shiny. It's got this nice little like racing stripe going up here. I love it. I like the screen on it. I like the battery capacity. It's comfortable to hold. You know, it's a pretty decent size. As far as the size goes, too. I mean, here it is again next to a... Do it this way. Here it is again next to, yeah, a iStick 20 watt. It's barely taller than the iStick 20 watt. And size-wise, it's really small. It's actually smaller than my SX Mini height-wise. So yeah, it makes it a joy to use because of its size. And right now I have it running with the Subtech Mini that came with my sub box kit, and I put a nickel coil in there, and I put the rebuildable section in there. I'm using a 70-30 juice, and it is just perfect. It's a perfect vape. These two together are really good, and they actually look good because they're all match. It's all black and red, so it all matches. So the vape on that is stellar. It's stellar. So some pros on this. Definitely the screen. The clarity on it is just really clear. Obviously this camera does no justice. It's got all the information you want. It's got your temp, it's got your power, it's got your resistance. You can lock that resistance. And what it means by locking the resistance is, if you're not familiar with temp control and nickel and titanium wire, as heated, the temperature is going to raise the resistance of that coil, which is going to throw the whole temperature thing off. You can just lock it so it's an accurate reading all the time. It bases it on that resistance, and it doesn't keep changing and screwing up the temperature. The battery life, that's another huge pro on your 5,000 milliamp hour. Now I've heard some buzzing that it may not be 5,000. P. Bissardo just did a review on it, and I'm going to go with the information he said because he was a very knowledgeable person, and it's pretty darn close to 5,000. If not, it's like 100 milliamps short. But I've had this been using this solid on the same charge for 4 days, and I have still a quarter battery life left. So I only had to charge it once in the week I've had it, which is fantastic. Just fantastic. I can take this out with me, and I know I'll have enough battery to go around. I like the fact how easy it is to adjust temperature. So if you're in temp mode, you just flick that wheel. It's a one-handed operation. You got your fire button right here and your dial right here to adjust. Very simple. You know, traditional Evic style, like the old Evic or in the Evic Supreme, they all had these dials on them. Just makes adjusting on fly. Unlike the DNAs, you have to go into the menu, you have to lock it, then you have to go in there and hold the two buttons, and you have to, you know, adjust up and down. It's a pain in the ass. This is a lot easier. The menu, it is what it is. It's a pretty simple menu for the most part. The fact that you could run it in nickel or titanium is a huge positive, and the fact that you could run it in, obviously, variable wattage mode is another huge positive. So you have 3 different options to run this in, and you're not going to get bored with this one, that's for sure. And obviously the looks, again, like I said, the looks are just appealing to me. Spring-loaded 510. It's a gold-plated spring-loaded 510. A lot of things about the mod itself I like. Now the tank not so much, but the mod I like. And let's get to the cons. The cons. Well, the only cons I can come up with is you got a little bit of play in the button. You got a little bit of play here in this toggle switch, but that's, you know, that's expected. That's not a deal breaker for me any means. You do get a slight gap at the top, and this is just on my unit because I haven't seen anybody else talk about this in their reviews. That 510 ring, kind of like on the which mod did I just do that had the raised 510 on it? The Cool Fire 4. The 510 insert, the stainless steel insert here, it sits a freaking a hair high, which causes everything to just sit with a hair gap. Again, probably not going to be able to see it. It's so minimum. It doesn't bother me, but if you're somebody that's nitpicky, you're going to notice it, and you're going to notice the slight hairline gap. Again, it seems maybe, I haven't heard anybody else talk about it, so maybe it's just me. One of the big negatives I have with it is in the menu mode. When you go into the menu mode, and you're in temp mode, for instance, and you go down to adjust your power, and you can only go up. You can't go down. Sometimes I'm at, you know, say 35, and I want to go back down to 30, I got to go all the way up and back down to it. It's a pain in the ass. It really is just a pain in the ass. So turning the wheel one way adjusts in, turning the wheel the other way changes the setting. It's a little bit of a learning curve to use. I always flick it the wrong way sometimes, and I'm screwing things up. It's a little tricky, you know. I would prefer it if it was an up and down button, I think, still, because it would just been easier. because then you could adjust the wattage up or down, not just up. My opinion, again, it's something minor that could be easily fixed. And another thing is it's not firmware upgradable, which is odd because Joyetech is known for that. So you can't upgrade the firmware on here if they release something to fix the bugs on it. Can't do that. That's gone. That's the majority of the cons in this guy. I mean, I'm going to recommend this highly because... But what I'm going to recommend to you is purchase the device itself. Don't get the tank. Unless you're gonna get some rebuildable coil heads for it like I am, don't get the tank. It's pointless. You can't use it in temp mode because it can't wick. Just my opinion. So yeah, save yourself some money and get this. They do sell the battery and a USB cable and stuff separately, and I think it's like 15 to 20 bucks cheaper or something like that. So take a look at that. But I highly recommend this unit. It's versatile. It seems very accurate, and for the price, this is one of the cheapest temp control mods on the market right now. Definitely worth it in my opinion. Go get yourself one if this is in your, what you're looking for. The temp control, like I said, is just working flawlessly with the sub tank and the nickel coils. Yeah, I haven't experienced any dry hits whatsoever. So that's it, guys. Hope you found this review helpful, as always. If you're not subscribed to my channel, you can subscribe down here below. And as always, live well and vape on. Stop off, let's show the next one, then not let the kill. You don't believe it, but I'm